Hi everyone, Chris here. Now, as always, I'm curious about something. This week, I'm curious about the possibilities of this pencil. For today's adventure, you will need a pencil and a blank sheet of paper. It should be a regular size blank sheet of paper, nothing too small because we're going to be making lots of marks on it with our pencil. My pencil's name is Paco. Does your pencil have a name? If it doesn't, just call it pencil for now. So, I'd like you to repeat after me. Pencil? Pencil. It's time to play. Pencil. What would you like to do today? What's that? You want it? Got it. Paco, my pencil, wants to make loopy lines across our paper. What's that? You wanted them to be big, giant loopy lines? Using my whole arm, I'm gonna try it in the air first, just to make sure that I get it right. So let's see, Paco wants to do big, loopy lines using my whole arm. I guess that would look something like this. All right, I think I'm ready to try it on the paper. Why don't we all try? Let's make a giant, loopy line across our whole paper. Whoa! Whew, that was fun. Another drawing? Okay, what kind of drawing you want to make this time? Really? Okay, so now you've completely changed your mind, and instead of doing something giant, you want to do something tiny? Tiny dots. Okay, we could do tiny dots. In the shape of a circle. I see. So you want us to make a circle out of tiny dots? Okay, sounds good. I'm going to try it in the air just to make sure that I have it right. So I imagine it would look something like this. What's that? Yeah, I kind of got that. I would be using only my fingers, not my whole arm like last time. Okay, well, let's try it on the page, shall we? Wow, so these are two very different drawings. We have a giant loopy line and we have a circle made up of tiny dots. These two different drawings give two different expressions. For example, when I was drawing the loopy line, I kind of felt loopy or kind of wild, you know? Because I was going like this. Whoa, 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 whoa. And that kind of reminded me of a roller coaster. So actually, I felt a little bit dizzy. Did you feel dizzy? I also had a lot of fun drawing the loopy line, and it reminded me of a friend that I have who has curly hair. So when I was drawing the loopy lines, I was kind of having fun, kind of drawing my friend. Another thing is that these are very smooth lines, right? They're not bumpy like this. They were really nice and smooth. So there was a part of me that also felt calm. Now the dots made me feel a little bit cold actually, because when I was making the dots on the paper, it reminded me of the sound that my teeth make when I get cold. It's called when your teeth chatter. They go like this. And it's almost like when you get right out of the pool and you're really, really cold and you need a towel and you're like, That's kind of what the dots reminded me of. So also the dots made me feel a little bit nervous, because sometimes when I get nervous, I tend to tap my pencil on something, or tap my foot on the floor really fast, or drum my fingers on the desk. And that's kind of what drawing the dots reminded me of, feeling nervous. I also felt when I drew the dots that I had to be very precise. I couldn't just go all over the page and do whoa, 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 right? Because that's not very precise. Paco wanted us to make a circle made out of dots. So I feel like I had to be very, very specific about where my dots were. I had to go, and it required a lot of focus. Now, because these are dots and they made up a big circle, I kind of was reminded of an orange. And you know how an orange has little dots outside of it that make it kind of bumpy? That's what I thought this circle of dots gives me, a bumpy expression. Bumpy, as opposed to the smooth lines of the loops that we did. I love these dots so much because they also made me feel determined and energized. Because once I started, I knew that I had to finish. And I knew that it was going to take a long time, but I was really determined to do what Paco wanted me to do. What kind of lines does your pencil want you to draw? Why don't you ask it and see what it wants? First, try it out in the air. Whatever it wants you to draw, try just drawing it with your finger in the air. Then once you think you've got that down, you can draw it on paper. You can also ask your other classmates what they're drawing too if you and your pencil are stuck. And once you're done, try describing what you drew to your neighbor. Here's some suggestions for other types of lines you could draw. You could do zigzag lines, or pointy lines like this. Do, 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 do. You could do soft lines by not adding so much pressure onto your pencil when you're pushing down. Or you could do really hard lines by adding lots more pressure on your pencil when you're pushing down. You could do, maybe really thick lines, thick and dark lines. You see, I have to kind of go over them again and again to make them thicker. Or you could do simple, thin lines just by one little stroke of your pencil. You can also do tangled lines or scribbly lines. Not straight, but sort of going all over the place. Why not? What does your pencil want to draw? How many types of lines and shapes can you make? Can you describe them to your neighbor? Why don't you take a few minutes to try it out?